Welcome to Kotor, Montenegro. This city was apparently first mentioned in about 168 BC. It was initially established during the Roman era, but then has changed and evolved along the way. Behind me down here is the old town, and that is the gateway to be able to hike up the mountain to the fortress, etc. on the side of the mountain. And that's what we're gonna do today. Y'all ready? Church. I think it's the Cathedral of St. Tryphon. It was initially built a long time ago and was consecrated in 1166. Then earthquakes in 1563, 1667, and 1979 kind of destroyed part of it. So it's still kind of waiting to be rebuilt. The 1667 earthquake was the worst one on this cathedral as far as I understand. This right behind me is the entrance, and during the summertime it costs money to get in here. During the winter time, when there's fewer people, it doesn't cost as much. Actually, it doesn't cost at all. That is not as much, I suppose. Huh. The views aren't half bad already. We just started. This guy's even louder than the one before. It was like I cued him to do that. Over here around that bend, there's this island out in the middle of the water with a church on it. Super cool story behind it. I'm gonna focus on this hike, and I will let yesterday me tell you about that. Behind me here is a church called Our Lady of the Rocks, and the story is that on July 22nd in 1452, some fishermen or something were going out to sea, and they found an image of the Virgin Mary and her child on the rock out there. And so as a way to like commemorate that, every time they had a successful voyage out at sea, when they were coming back, they would lay rocks down. And that kind of built this island, and then the church was built on top of it. And the church, I think, was renovated in the 1700s or something. But to keep this tradition going, from what I've been told, every July 22nd there's this festival, and people go to the island and put more rocks on it, just to kind of keep the tradition alive. So this fortress was built a very long time ago, as I told you earlier. I think it was reconstructed in the 6th century, but can you imagine having to carry all of these rocks up here? I guess we're on a mountain made of rocks, so maybe they didn't carry the rocks up, maybe they pulled them down from the top. The earthquakes that I mentioned earlier are a big part of what destroyed this entire fortification. Primarily the one in 1979, and it's in dire need of some reconstruction. Still looks dope though. The view from up here is epic. Here, watch this. Obviously these aren't the only things to see in Kotor, but we were only here for a few days and these are probably the best things that we could find. Benny says we missed the cat museum though, but that's okay. I'll probably come back here eventually. I'll see you guys next week, and I think next week we'll be in London.